Hello, true duelists. My name is Craig Fee, and welcome to the New Card Report. The video I make sometimes when there are too many new cards for the regular update, and because even still to this day, I don't trust a 40-minute video by me. Would you? Probably shouldn't. It's been another pretty tame week in regards to new card reveals. There's nothing new from Cyberstorm Access, the next set in the OCG this week, but we did get some new cards from Premium Pack 2023. Yes, Premium Pack 2023, a lovely little OCG exclusive set featuring a number of cards for an even greater number of archetypes. And if you're wondering when it is we might be getting these new cards here in the TCG, and in what set we might be getting them, fuck you! That's about all that's all I can tell you about it, because I have no idea when we might see these cards, or in what set, or in what rarities. Matter of fact, there are cards from Premium Pack 2022, the set released around this time last year, that we still don't have here in the TCG. So there's nothing to go off of. You can instead learn today about a bunch of new cards, and maybe you'll go, oh wow, neat, I want that card, and then you can wait. And hopefully in a future update I can tell you when you're getting them. But until then, we're just gonna jump right into it. Let's start first with Arms Regeneration, a new quick play spell that Noble Knight decks in 2014 might have considered playing. That's right, Noble Knight in 2014. It's a maybe in that deck. You know it's good. On activation, you can choose to activate one of its two effects. Either target a monster and give it 800 attack until the end phase, or target an equipped spell in either graveyard and either set it to your field or equip it to an appropriate monster you control. That's right, it's equip spell recovery, or a really shitty inverse Forbidden Lance. It's slightly buffed Rush Recklessly, released in the year of our Lord 2022. Amazing. That's really worth playing, right? No, of course not. It's equip spell support. There is either a broken piece of equip spell support, or it's absolutely useless, and there's no in between. And I think we can all agree that this card is not broken. Duality is a new quick play spell that I guess depicts what's inside the pot of duality. What a terrible joke. Moving on, you can use each effect once per turn of this card, the first being to tribute a light or dark monster from your field to summon from your hand or extra deck a monster with the same type and level, but a different attribute. Namely, a dark goes into light or a light goes into a dark. And you can banish this card from the graveyard to shuffle one light and one dark monster from your grave back into your deck in order to draw a card. Immediately after seeing this card, everyone immediately just started talking about how you can use this to turn Aluber in branded decks into Herald of the Arclight. Which is true. But will it be done? I mean, by some people, sure, but this isn't exactly searchable, and I mean, I feel like you can probably just stick to fusion locks and, consistency cards over this and do better. But what do I know about branded? I'm not a branded player. I can very easily be wrong, but I feel that this card will be broken in some other way, in a deck that has more than one neat thing to tag into. At least that's my take. Either way, we can add this to the ever-growing list of Chaos-themed support cards that are just waiting to become a problem. Shadow's Light is both the name of this new spell and also some dog shit game idea I probably came up with at 11 years old, but thought it sounded super cool and mysterious because it's like the light of the shadow, man. Also, it's part of the ever-growing Chaos support that's probably going to be a problem at some point. This one will cost you your battle phase to activate, and requires you to target a dark monster you control, and lets you summon a light monster from your deck with the same type and level. Its other effect is to banish itself from your graveyard to let you normal summon one light or dark monster in addition to your normal summoner set that turn. Both of these effects can be used on the same turn, but using either of them will forfeit your battle phase. Now, there's absolutely no way this can go wrong. A free summon from the deck and a generic double summon in one card. But it's okay, because it costs you your battle phase. There has never before been a powerful, generic piece of extension that costs you your battle phase that was ever a problem. Okay, really, this is not Soul Charge at all. They are not even remotely on the same level. That card's broken as fuck. But I do feel that this is a when and not an if in regards to being a problem in a future format. The real shame here is the art. Wow! A ball of light. A mystic shine ball, if you will. Fucking lame. Rose Shaman is some generic plant support. A level 4 that can tribute itself to draw a card. Wow, it just immediately gets itself off the field. Not even the Aperia effect or whatever that card is called. It's gonna yeet itself before it does anything of note. Its other effect is to banish itself from the grave in order to add any other plant monster from your graveyard back to your hand. The bonus is, if you add a level 7 or higher plant back to your hand with this effect, you can also send a plant monster from your deck to the graveyard. It's Insane Recovery and Foolish Burial in one card? And it's a woman? Holy shit, that's a woman? No, it's art that appears on some cardboard. Calm down, son. It's just a drawing. Not much to say here. Might see play in Rika or something. Also, it's like part of the same thing as Rose Archer was, I guess. That's cool. It's like a legacy. It's carrying on. How quaint. And carrying on with plants, catty corn. What would you get if you took those screaming plants from Harry Potter and mixed them with an anime cat and the complete and total abandonment of God? Turns out, you'd get one of the worst replacements for terraforming I've ever seen. Catty corn here is another level 4 plant, but its effect lets you add any field spell from deck to hand if it's special summoned, just so long as you don't already control a field spell. And it has another effect that if it's destroyed by either battle or effect and sent to the graveyard, it lets you target a field spell in your grave and add a copy of that same field spell from deck to hand. I find it a little strange that it doesn't just grab back the field spell it targets with its second effect, but then again, I'm confused as to what the fuck that is that I'm looking at when I see this card, so I'm just gonna try desperately to forget about it and move on to the next one. Photon Jumper. This monster is the inspiration for Swordward from Pokemon Sword and Shield, a character I despise with the entirety of my being. What the fuck was that post-game, dude? This is a level 4 Photon, and God willing, it's not just another extender. Jumper here can summon itself from hand when the opponent declares an attack in order to end the battle phase, but in doing so will also skip your next battle phase as well. Nothing like skipping the battle phase and Space Dragon OTK the deck. Sure. The other effect activates if it's sent to the graveyard, and it adds any Photon spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Holy fuck. Is that a good effect? Is that a good effect? Foolish this with any Foolish Burial or even Galaxy 100, another new piece of support to search Photon Sanctuary? A play? A starting play? A starter of sorts in Photon Galaxy? Praise Xenu and Konami. It's, my god, finally. Finally, a starter in Photon Galaxy. And yes, Photon Galaxy players are that desperate for a starter that this is something I'm excited about. Synchro Zone is a new continuous trap, and what I think the Synchro event on Master Duel should have been called. Just saying. It stun locks all non-Synchro monsters into not attacking while it's face up on the field, and if a non-tuner Synchro monster is sent to the grave, it can target that Synchro and summon it back, treating it as a tuner. That's once per turn, but it seems pretty solid to me. Just bring it on back. Whatever it is, however it left. Here it is again. The last effect is to send itself to the grave so that you can quick effect Synchro Summon during the opponent's main phase. Because all Synchro effects and support need to just be quick effect Synchro Summoning on the opponent's turn, of course. I think it's cute. It seems fun in a limited format to me. In the standard format we all play, however, that's, you know, the competitive metagame, well, it's a continuous trap that's not an oppressive floodgate, and it supports Synchro. It sucks. And Sky Striker has received 2 new pieces of support as well, again from the manga. War Magus Akaz. I'm not redoing that, that's the only take we're going with. It's a level 5 fire attribute machine that is always treated as a Sky Striker card. It can discard any spell from your hand to summon itself, and if a link monster you control would be destroyed, it can banish a spell from your graveyard instead. And if it itself is destroyed and sent to the grave, you can add back one of your banished spells to your hand. Wow! It protects your link monster at the cost of shutting off the entire archetype spell lineup. That's so smart and cool and neat and also good. Sky Striker players should definitely play this when they're dueling against me. The important part of Sky Striker is keeping Kagari on the field and safe. So surely this thing's a 3 of. And Wisdom Magus, Himmel. Again, that's the only take we're getting, folks. This is a level 5 Earth attribute, and much like Akaz before it, it's always treated as a Sky Striker and can summon itself from hand by discarding any spell. Its unique effect is to negate any effect from the opponent that targets a link monster you control by banishing 2 spells from your graveyard. And it has the same recovery effect, grabbing a banished spell back to your hand when it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard. This is comedy. I've tried to include some jokes in this video, but none of them will even remotely compete with the fact that they have unironically printed support for Sky Striker that actively shuts off the deck. The deck is not Ray, it's Ray accompanied by like 30 spells, and all of those spells are at their best when you don't have anything in your main monster zone, and these are the second and third monsters that can only exist in the main monster zone to do anything, and in doing that thing, they lose you the game. I love whoever it is that came up with the idea to support Sky Striker with these cards. Keep giving them cards exactly like this, Konami. You are doing God's work. And so, that's gonna wrap it up for today's new card report. Just covering the new cards in this one, the regular update will be out tomorrow as usual. Until then, I've been your host, Craig Fee, and make sure you subscribe to Yugioh Strats for this week's update, a smoking Italian wife, and so you too can be a true duelist.